Hello, everyone. We're back again this week. Back to Iraden here. As kind of with the last game here, may have only been a week for you listeners, but for us, it's been about a month or so. But we're going to hit the ground running here. Without further ado, I'm just going to reintroduce everybody. So if everybody wants to say their name, class, character name. We'll just kind of go from there, starting with Molly.
Hello, I'm Motley. I play Sabbath Hellborn, the party's bard.
Hi, I'm Kayla. I play Ceres, the party's rogue.
Hello, I'm Drew. I play Avestus, the barbarian. Watch out for that spell-casting barbarian. Rage!
Hi, I'm Cam. I play the elf who is an archer.
With a little tiny dragon. Awesome. All right. So we'll go ahead and get everything started. And good luck, and I hope you all don't die. So we find ourselves back on the outskirts of Iraden. The adventuring party of Sabbath, Ceres, Helios, and Avestus stand outside the city walls. It's very early in the morning, and the fog is very heavy around you. You have your packs with you, but your town can't really afford to give you any of their horses, so you're going to be hoofing it. You have been given a mission to go into the woods, find this mansion, and investigate it to see kind of what's going on. If there's anything evil there, if there is, take it out. And you've basically been given carte blanche when it comes to looting, so anything you find, you can keep. You have all been now introduced to Ceres, who hasn't really said very much. They stand in front of you, wearing some nice leather armor with a big willow on the chest there, and they are shuffling a very sharp looking deck of cards, and everybody's about ready to hit the road. Does anybody want to say anything, want to introduce themselves to Ceres, or Ceres, would you like to introduce yourself to anybody here?
I hope you're not the other one I have to babysit.
Babysit me? Absolutely not. Let's just get going.
We will see how squishy you are in the meantime.
Okay, so the woods are kind of right in front of you there. The path to the mansion, to your knowledge, as long as you stay on the main path, you should get there. So what would you like to do?
Does anybody have a map?
Does anyone have a map? Does anyone know the land around here?
I believe Avestus does. He has been around this area for quite some time, so I do have a little bit of a know-how for it. So I will take the lead, my good folk. I have hunted these grounds before, and I may be able to lead us to where our destination lies.
Sounds good, as long as we don't go deeper into the woods.
Well, that's where all the good stuff is. Like, the bear. The bear meat's delicious.
Yeah, and some other fun things.
Please don't bring us anywhere near a bear.
Why? Would that be unbearable?
For heaven's sake.
I don't like you already.
You think dragons like to eat bears?
Depends on the day.
Not one that small.
Well, you never know. He could get hungry.
Okay, so are you guys heading into the woods now?
Yes, most certainly. I will take the lead if that's okay with everybody.
I'm not opposed to it. I have no sense of direction.
You get us into trouble. Let's go.
Sabbath will pretty much just follow anywhere. So,
So you head into the woods. Avestus, I want you to roll me a survival check.
How do we feel about 15?
I feel fine with a 15. So you take them on the trail. You kind of keep close to the border of the woods, so you're not too far in. It's not really too much of a strain to kind of look out and see outside of the forest. But eventually you do have to start kind of going in a little bit deeper by following the path. And it's once you start going deeper, it's a very still morning. There's not really any sound that you can hear, and there's no birds. The wind will blow and you'll get a chill down your spine, but for some reason it isn't rustling any leaves. As you walk a little bit deeper, you start to see a couple of figures up ahead. They're not really on your path, but you can kind of make out their silhouette a little bit further off the trail there. What would you like to do?
do their silhouettes look human?
One silhouette does look human, yes. In fact, if everyone wants to roll a perception check.
I got a 20.
Nice.
I got
Yeehaw.
a 13.
14.
13 for me.
Haha. For once.
This is good. Cam, you look out and you recognize the silhouette.
Oh no.
They're wearing armor not dissimilar to yours. But they look like they're facing kind of away. Like they're facing the opposite direction that you guys are heading.
I don't want to be that, elf. I think we should go say hi. We have a big burly dude, a rogue thing with sharp, cards. I have a dragon. I think we'll be okay.
I have nothing, but I will follow your lead.
He just takes Sabbath's hand like, yes, let's go. Come on.
Don't worry, I still have a little bit of the doughboy left. Perhaps I can use it as bribery.
I am picturing this moment in my head where Saris is very much just kind of standing there being like, yeah, whatever. And Cam is taking Sabbath's hand and being like, it's okay, we can do this.
Yeah, Sarah's is very much just like chilling in the background a little bit. Like, I don't know you guys well enough yet.
So Helios and Sabbath are gonna walk over towards the shadowy figure. Vestus, are you coming like at the same pace as them, or are you gonna like stay behind a little bit, or?
I'm going to be a little bit, just about, maybe about 10 or 15 feet behind them.
Okay.
And most certainly give them a little bit of a daunting presence behind them.
Okay. So as Helios and Sabbath get closer, Helios, you recognize this to be the captain of the hunt. The one who helped you escape the woods with Eggsy earlier. And as you start to get closer, he starts to turn around. And by the time you get to him, he has turned fully around. And I want you to roll me a perception check.
Kind of hard to see. 14.
14? Okay. Sabbath, you want to roll a check as well?
Dirty 20.
So between the two of you, you can't quite see it because he's kind of hidden under some foliage, but the foliage kind of moves, and you see that half of his face is missing.
Oh.
No.
And he just starts kind of like, you guys stop in your tracks, and he kind of starts lingering, like lumbering towards you.
Sabbath kind of leans over to Helios. You can see this one too, right?
He's alive? Question mark.
Here's hoping.
The captain of the hunt starts kind of lumbering towards you, and you can see large scrapes over his face and body, and he just goes.
Okay, but is he lumbering towards us with intention? Like lumbering with purpose? Like we're in danger?
Roll an insight.
Oh no.
Oh god.
13.
16.
It looks more like he's walking towards you with a sense of hunger.
That's also not good.
That's worse.
After he gets he's about 10 feet away from you now, and he just stops. And he just kind of holds both his hands down, and he opens what's left of his jaw, and he just makes a very loud sound. And that sound is returned.
Oh, I regret my life choices. Immediately grabbing Sabbath's hand and just bolting away.
Okay.
Avestus.
SOS, big guy.
Definitely when that's happening, drawing the great axe and definitely charging towards it.
So as it starts lingering forward, you hear a lot of footsteps that seem to be coming in multiple different directions. Give me a perception check.
Oh, that is a nat 1. I see nothing. I know.
Oh no.
You are everywhere you look. It's just like you hear it, but you can't figure out where it's coming from. But there seems to be a lot of it. After a minute or so, you start to hear larger footsteps and a bestial. And these footsteps sound a lot heavier.
Oh no.
Oh, good God. What have we done?
Does anybody else want to roll a perception check?
Yep.
I will.
Oh god, help us all. I got a 6.
True to character, I crit failed.
I got a 13.
Fuck.
Okay. That was Euceris, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Ceres is the only person that really still has their wits about them. And she looks around and she sees what looks to be a large pack of dogs that look very similar to this man. And further down, you can't quite make out what's making that sound, but it looks like it's actually starting to bend trees. As it's like coming out like smaller trees. It sounds really big.
We gotta go now.
Already way ahead of you there, buddy.
So you guys are gonna start like running down the trail?
I assume so. I hope so.
Absolutely hightailing it.
Yep.
Just fucking bolting.
Aha! Where are you going? Oh, God. Okay, they ran off. Okay.
Tactical retreat.
We're
Come
not
back.
retreating. We're advancing in reverse.
Come back. We can take them.
You can take them. Do you see the size of us compared to you?
At this point, after he says we can take them, you see the large beast emerge from the foliage, and it is a undead grizzly bear.
Well, there's your freaking bear.
Big guy, I love you. I do, but what the hell?
Oh, this
Ah! A
It-
challenge!
it stands on its back legs, and even with its rotting flesh, it still towers a good 4 or 5 feet over Avestus.
Oh,
This is not including the pack of half dead wolves either.
I hate it here.
But they're off the trail. They are coming closer. So, who's running down the trail?
Sabbath.
I'm staying with the
There.
big dude.
I'm gone.
So Avestus is kind of standing against these, the one lingering man, the bear, and about 7 or 8 very hungry wolves.
Sabbath starts running and then stops. This is not what my grandmother would want me to do. And turns to go back.
Darius notices Sabbath turn back and sort of sighs, like, well, damn it. And sort of follows behind.
With getting Avestus getting a little bit more excited, I would like to rage, but I would like to also, while doing that rage, just let out a bellowing war cry and attempt to intimidate them a bit.
Us or the bear?
Both.
Roll intimidation.
Holy sweet Jesus. That is a crit that's with a total of 22.
All right. So you let out a very almost unnatural roar to intimidate the wolves and the bear and everything. And after your very loud roar, everybody kind of stops and it goes silent again. And then you hear a scattering of birds kind of moves from flies off from the trees around, and you hear some things starting to come down from the trees, and they look like the bear, but it also looks like they have an almost bird-like face. But they are also very much undead, and they start climbing down from the trees very slowly. Sabbath, can you just go ahead and say that?
I sure can. I cannot disclose too much information, but I fear I may have girl-bossed a bit too close to the sun.
All right, so now you've got the bear. Now you've got the owl bears. You've got the wolves, and you've got the lingering man. They're about 50 feet or so from the trail.
If we just run, what are our odds, do you think?
Run! We will fight!
Will we, though?
What other choice do we have? I don't think we can get out of this.
We're gonna have to fight our way. Big guy doesn't want to give up.
My only weapon is a dagger, and I am not keen on getting in melee range.
Just throw the dagger. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Sabbath just kind of hesitantly reaches over to Avestus. Excuse me?
Yes!
Sabbath takes exactly one step backwards. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, and not that I want to crush your dreams or anything, but I do think it would be more beneficial if we ran.
But these are the undead would have haunted these woods for so long, and I have wished for battle.
I am unfortunately well versed in the dead and undead, and I would certainly prefer if we ran.
Well, Augustus is going to charge him headlong.
I know.
What are you doing?
He's going to draw the battle axe a little bit closer, and he's going to draw forth a little closer to the creatures.
Okay, this is how you want to die. Okay.
You can have your battle elsewhere. Let's go.
We left town 10 minutes ago. There's so much left to do.
I don't feel like dying today.
Somebody, use the dough! Use the dough!
As you guys are arguing, and the undead animals start getting closer, you hear the thunderous sound of horse hoofs coming towards you from the town. Atop a large black horse, you see a warrior in all red armor with fur separating the plates, and a very large metal kanabo coming towards you.
Grandma?
As she gets closer, she jumps off her horse. Her kanabo energy starts to go through it, and it causes a very large, bright light. And as it hits the ground, there's almost like a big thunder wave, and it seems to knock the creatures back, because they are very afraid of this light. And yes, Ori looks towards you, and it's like, couldn't have gotten farther out of town before you got in trouble.
We did try.
Helios is just kind of like backing away really slowly.
I'm sorry, Grandma.
No, worry not. I can hold them off. If you want to join me in fighting them, you can, but I think I shall make short work of them.
Their blood will make an infinitely good challenge.
Okay.
And if you are looking at it, he's almost like possessed, almost like he's like a hunger's kind of taking over him.
Sun's getting real low there, buddy. You see Ori like turn towards the zombies and is trolling her kanabo, which is a good it's a good like two-handed club, but she's basically like trolling it around. One of the wolves jumps at her and she hits it, and it just basically explodes with a hit. What would you guys like to do?
I would like to run in and aid Ori's grandmother.
Sabbath's gonna take a big step back because they know that Grandma's got this.
And Helios takes out his bow and an arrow and just lines one up just in case to keep his big friend safe.
Okay. Avestus, I want you to roll me an attack. You're gonna be. What do you want to attack? You want to attack one of the wolves or the bears?
We'll go for the wolves.
One of the wolves. Go for it.
That is. How do we feel about a 20 to hit?
A 20 to hit.
Yes.
That hits.
Oh, how do we feel about 15 points of damage?
You come in and you just pretty much chop it in half.
I feel the thrill of battle.
Ori looks at you as like another wolf kind of comes up behind her. She just like puts her kanabo on her shoulder, and the wolf like hits the kanabo and it just explodes. She's like, I mean, these aren't the most, these are wolves. I mean, we can have some fun. I bet I can kill more than yours.
A challenge acceptable.
Sure. So you see she goes and she closes her eyes, focuses her power, and you see that she starts to grow very large, about the size of like an ogre or something like that. She's much larger, then like you have SSS, she'll be about like 12 to 15 feet tall. And her Kanabo grows to match. So her Kanabo is probably about as tall as like Sabbath or Helios, if not bigger. And she looks at you, and her voice is a little bit deeper as she's large. She's like, "Ready, big boy?"
Yes.
So I'm gonna have you roll 3 attacks,
Would you like me to roll
and I want you to pick 3 enemies.
I will reckless for each one of those.
Sure.
So how do we feel about a 16, 19, and a 20? We'll go after all the wolves.
Okay. Yep, those will all hit if you're hitting the wolves.
Those are the targets.
Okay. And roll your damage.
That is another 15.
Okay.
That's a 12.
Okay.
And Jesus Christ, that's a 13.
Okay. So since you're fighting the wolves, you make easy, short work of them. Just kind of like taking them out. Does anybody else want to take out any of the wolves? Helios, do you want to let loose an arrow or anything?
Hell yeah, man.
Roll to hit.
Nice. 16.
16 hits. Roll your damage.
I got an 8.
Awesome. 8's all you need.
Hell yeah.
So you let loose an arrow, and it like fully hits like a wolf square in the head, and it just falls over dead.
Nice.
Saris, do you want to kill anything?
Yeah, I'll throw 2 of my cards at 2 different wolves.
Okay. Those will be the last of the wolves there, and just roll the hit.
I got a 14.
14 just hits, and for the other one?
Sorry, I rolled a 13.
13. Okay,
Yeah.
the 13 misses.
Jeez.
But roll your d6 plus dex.
5, 9.
Awesome. That is enough to take out one of the wolves. And Sabbath, I'll give you a turn too if you want to do anything to these wolves.
Sabbath would like to try to be brave.
Okay.
We're going to try to throw a dagger. 13.
13 misses.
True to character. So they try and then just watch it sail by. Vicious mockery?
Okay, what are you going to say to the wolf?
Oh, God. I feel like just yelling something like "be gone" or like nothing very clever, just trying it out.
Be gone.
Pretty much, yeah. I didn't know if I could say that. But like something like "away with you" or something along those lines.
Okay. What's your save DC?
That's a good question. 13.
All right. It fails, so go ahead and roll your damage.
It's a solid 2 of psychic damage.
Okay, so this one poor wolf, all the other ones are dead. You throw a dagger at it, and it just kind of sails over the wolf's head, and then you just feel like you're like, "Fuck, be gone!" And it just kind of looks over at you, and you just see like a little bit of a like blue, almost looks like a like scratch appear on its face, and it's gone. Ori is going to pick up one of the bears and throw it at the other one. They're both dead.
Sabbath looks just as confused about these developments.
At this point, seeing as most of the wolves are now dead and they are vastly outnumbered, the other undead just kind of look at each other, and you hear this whispering, and they all kind of in tandem turn around and start walking away. As they do this, Ori starts to shrink back to the regular size.
I think we owe you a great debt of gratitude, Grandma.
I won't always be here to save you, but you're close enough to town that I was able to. So when you need me, I will always try my best, but just try not to go looking for trouble.
I make no promises.
I knew you were a Hellborn. And she goes in and just gives Sabbath a hug.
Aw.
Ori looks at everyone else like, it was fun to fight next to you. It's always good to get my stretches in. And she just kind of like gives you a smile and waves at you guys as she gets back on her horse. Good to make your way to the mansion from here? Or should I accompany you, or do you think you'll have it?
We should be fine. The thrill of battle concedes us no more. And for a second, Augustus is kind of gonna look around. What just happened?
He needs some help.
We just fought the undead, dude. We're good. You did great.
You had some kind of prolonged psychic event, if I had to guess. Well done.
That was unintentional. Did anybody else smell meat? Like, I smell something, and it just kind of got my senses going.
No.
Oh my, this is not good. Question, does anybody have any bacon?
Bacon?
Yes, I have some bacon because sometimes I get a little irritable when I'm hungry. I guess I was irritable right now.
Ah, I see. You're not you and you're hungry.
Yes, I didn't have my bacon today.
That's Snickers. That's not how Henry is Snickers.
Hey, what are you talking about? I've never heard of the Snickers.
Ori is gonna stay around for a little bit longer. She's like, Do you need me to I do need to return back to Iraden. But I could hear your big friend here's shout, and then I came here because you're only about 10 minutes out of town. But do you need me to, chaperone you to the mansion? I don't know how much I can help, and I can't stay away from town long, but I might be able to help if there's any more of those crawlies around.
We should be fine, I would say so. Looking to the rest of my companions, I deduce that much of that was my fault, and I do excuse myself for that. I guess I didn't have as much control as I thought over that.
Who needs babysitting now?
I am a fully grown adult, thank you very much, and I can...
Avessus, I know that Sabbath is the bard, but I want you to roll a will save.
Wow, that's terrible. How do you feel about that one again?
Saris, can you roll me a d4?
4. Rolled 3.
Avessus, you're going to take 3 damage right now. You just got burnt so hard.
My mind!
Sorry, big guy, but if you can't control your stomach, maybe you shouldn't be leading.
Sorry, that is the first time in a while I've had a little bit of fresh air, you could say.
At this point, Ori is going to say, well, it looks like you have everything handled here, so I'm going to return to town. Feel free to visit with those medallions we gave you, and yeah, love you, Sabbath. Good luck.
Love you too, Grandma.
And she just gets on her horse and rides back into town.
He seems nice.
6 foot tall lesbian gladiator. So, I mean,
yes,
literally
nice.
The perfect person.
Literally nice.
Amazing. 10 out of 10.
Love of my life.
I like how you say that. Literally, you made the character.
And what about it?
Okay. So there's no more undead coming towards you. They're pretty much scared off at this point. What would you like to do?
Stick to the path.
I would not like to rage.
Stick to the
More
path. We're
distraction.
sticking to the path.
Gotta get you some food.
I'm sorry, I didn't have my breakfast shake this morning.
It's the most important meal of the day.
Incorrect. I think 11Z is by far the best.
That's debatable.
Depends on what time you wake up.
Okay. So you're gonna start heading down the trail.
Indeed.
Yes, we are.
All right. So as you head down the trail, you do see it starts to get lighter after about an hour or so. And you can start to hear more sounds, more kind of like bugs buzzing, birds chirping and stuff like that. It still seems a little off and unnerving. But you come to a large gate just off of the forest. And the gate itself is open and leads to a very like circular kind of glade. And it looks like there is a lot of hedge here. It looks like there's a path that kind of goes in. If you had to guess, this might be some form of hedge maze, sorry.
I've seen this in a horror movie once.
With my sense of direction, we're doomed.
We've got this.
Can I make a perception check to see if I can see over the hedge, seeing as how tall I am?
Roll a perception
Yeah.
at disadvantage.
Well, can't do any worse than a 9, I think. No, I got an 8. Look at that. Awesome.
You kind of look up. You can see further down, you can see a very large mansion. So you know you're going in the right direction. But other than that, you can't really make out any of the lines in the maze or anything like that. You can basically just see that on the other side of this hedge is a large, very large estate. So what would you like to do? There is a small in the circular glade they're in right now. There is a opening that would take you into it.
I would like to ask, which direction is the maze, my companion?
Who are you asking? What?
Sorry, I kind of just forgot. Who looked for the direction in the maze?
Oh, I did. I tried to look over it, but it did not work.
Can't go under it, can't go over it, have to go through it.
Indeed, that is what I'm thinking.
Exactly.
Follow me. I believe I may have the quickest course to get us where we need.
Okay, what are you doing?
I'd like to take my great axe out, and I'm going to start chopping through the maze. Well, going straight.
Okay, so you're going to attack the maze with your axe.
Yes.
Roll to hit.
How do we feel about a 23?
I do believe that will hit. Roll your damage.
How do we feel about a 13?
All right, the damage is halved. So as you attack the maze, you see like bramble in front of you, but when you hit it, it hits something soft, but something like you have hit something. When you pull your axe back, it is dripping in purple blood.
Ew.
Is this supposed to happen? I don't think it is.
You also hear, and you see movement through the maze.
Well, there's something alive in there.
Was that hissing?
It was hissing, yes.
Okay.
Is it a sound that I've heard before?
Roll a history.
It's a 12. Probably not.
It's not something you've ever heard before, no. So, are you going to continue trying to chop through?
Vestus will halt for a moment, and he will look at the rest of the party and, well, what do you suggest we do?
I think our best option is to not try to brute force our way through it, because if we keep damaging whatever that is, methinks maybe that's not a good idea.
I'd hate to make a bad impression on our possible soon-to-be hosts.
You make a good point.
And we just had a run-in with the undead. I don't think we want to do that again.
What are you talking about? No, never mind. That wasn't as fun as I thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
So, what would you like to do?
I think we have to go through the maze.
Well, who feels they have the best sense of direction?
Certainly not me.
But Sabbath, you have a knack of confidence that cannot be missed.
Oh, I do hope that's sarcasm.
I could put you on my shoulders and you can look over the hedges.
We could try that.
That will not be a half bad idea.
Can we try that?
You could try.
All right. How are we going to do this?
What would that count as for a roll?
You'll have to roll a strength save. And Sabbath, I want you to roll either an athletics or an acrobatics.
Okay, let's go acrobatics.
And Cam, I want you to roll a d20 and then add your strength bonus.
I got a dirty 20.
Nice.
Oh boy. Okay. 22.
Nice.
Oh, we got this.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
So you prepare, you like have your hands kind of set in like a basket, and Sabbath just kind of jumps very softly into your hand, and you almost kind of like launch Sabbath up, and they come down and just kind of like sit on your shoulders, very elegantly. It's pretty legit.
I hope everyone saw that, because I'll never be doing that again.
Agreed.
As you do this, Sabbath, you feel something starting to like kind of tickle you, as Eggsy kind of crawls up you to look above you.
Oh, hello.
Hey.
Ah, Eggsy, there you are. You have not been out in a while. Were you having a nap?
Yeah.
Ah, I see.
Hello.
From this vantage point, you can see most of the layout of the maze, and you can kind of see some things that are moving within it, including the maze itself. It seems that it kind of slithers around. It doesn't change its shape, but it looks like there's things inside the walls.
Oh, no.
You also, from this vantage point, see that there are some dead ends, and there are some chests.
Ooh.
You also see, and this is about the limit of what you can see, you see a large gate that leads to another kind of glade, just like the one you came out of.
Okay. There's a gate up ahead.
No, it's at the end of the maze.
Okay. There's a gate at the end of the maze. I regret to inform you the maze is moving. There is something alive in there.
Ah, wonderful.
I see. So Plan Chop might have to go through.
I don't know how we're going to do this. So, can I tell what the thing in the maze is, or like, does it look familiar?
Roll a perception check. Or actually, roll a perception or a nature check.
19.
19?
Yes.
You can't make out exactly what it is. You can see it has like a faint, like light green glow to it. and it looks like it is covered in scales, but that's about it. It seems to blend in very, very well with the foliage of the hedges there.
Oh, good. There's something scaly.
Ugh.
My thoughts exactly.
Ah, you mean that there's supper available?
You concern me.
That is not what that means. That is not what that means.
Oh, wait a minute. I have something scaly. Eggy, can you happen to tell us maybe if you know what it is?
But like you think because I'm scaly, I might know something else that's scaly?
Yes.
You know that I don't know what a rock was until yesterday, right?
Always room for learning. You never know.
As you guys are still staying in the same spot, I want not Sabbath, but I want everyone else to roll a perception check.
20.
Nice.
18.
Nice.
3.
So
Oof.
Drew, so Avestus doesn't see anything. The other two do. You see a set of eyes and kind of a face kind of form in the wall of the hedge in front of you.
Hate that.
I just sent that to the groups so you know what you see.
Oh no.
So you see bright green eyes and a long slithering tongue and very large fangs.
Ah.
And it doesn't look like it's about to strike or anything, but all it looks at you and all you hear is
Okay.
Absolutely not. Run where?
you hear slithering through the actual part of the maze. It's like at your risk.
Oh
Did you
God.
Did you guys hear anything? I swore I heard whispering just a second ago.
Sabbath's face is just drained of color. I don't like this game.
What are you talking about? I do not understand.
You see the
Avestus,
face
is there-
go back into the maze, and now it's coming up behind Avestus.
Ah. Ah.
Vestus, move.
Abessus, buddy, we need to go now.
We're not doing this right now. Just come on.
This is a run situation.
Again.
Ooh, something has caught my attention. And Avestus will start running towards in the maze, I guess.
Okay.
Oh.
Boy.
Sun smells good.
The nice snake told us to run, so
Yep. That's what we're gonna do.
So as you all run into the maze, you see the snake, and it just kind of like puts its body between you and the entrance, so it's blocking your way off. So you now will have to go through the maze.
oh, quick question. Am I still on Helios's shoulders?
Yep. Have
Yes.
not dropped you yet.
Cool. Am I the lookout, or should I start running?
Yep. Just have like a grip on the legs and just running.
Fair enough.
Sabbath is very light.
Yeah.
I don't believe they're very tall.
No.
So you're able to, you're kind of like briskly walking. If you were to run, I would have you guys roll some checks. But if you're just gonna go briskly walk in, you're all good up there. So in front of you, there's a long path. There's there seems to be a break in the ferns that go north And further down, it looks like there's another break in the hedge that goes south.
Can I see anything from my vantage point?
Just a second, I will send it to you.
Neat.
That's what you can see in the maze right now.
Oh, geez. Oh, what? Okay. Can you send it from a different angle? I am trying to figure out where we are. Okay. I suggest we go. This is where you guys all find out I'm really bad at geography. And my sense of direction sucks. What were the directions? Okay, hold on. Let's south? Question mark. Let's go south.
Yeah, are you guys gonna go south?
South it is.
Yep.
Follow their good instinct of direction.
Oh dear.
Okay, so as you go south, you go south, and you're met with another wall. And it looks like it goes down. Then there's an L-shaped corner that has a little bit of overgrowth there, but you see kind of floating around is a large, kind of looks like a bulb, like a plant bulb.
Is it recognizable?
A roll in nature.
Come on, Sabbath. Nope. 10.
Anyone else?
I will.
That's a big ol' nope on me.
14, and I get a bonus of 4.
You notice it. It looks like a almost like a turnip, but a little bit juicier. If that's a really weird way to put it. Just give me a minute here. I'm going to share it into the group chat.
Is that a monster?
It's floating around.
Oh, I see.
Well, let's avoid that.
So are you gonna wait for it to pass by, or are you gonna try
Yeah.
to duck underneath it, or?
I think we should take its tentacles. Those things look useful.
This is like a weird Pac-Man situation.
Do we gabba gabba, or do we just let it pass?
Helios, what would you like to do?
Is any part of the ball part of it, is that edible at any point?
You don't know. You can roll nature.
Nature? 8.
You're not quite sure, but it does look pretty juicy, so it might at the very least be hydrating.
Okay. I'm more apt to ripping the tentacles off.
Okay. How do you want to go about that?
Does anybody want to help me take them off or try to attack it?
I'm on your shoulders. I go where you go.
Done. We're gonna go get it.
You're basically a mecha right now. You're basically a Megazord.
Don't worry, guys. Dumb and Dumber have it handled.
Where's the trench coat?
I would like to also aid them if possible.
Yay!
Okay. What are you gonna try to do to aid, and what are you guys gonna try to do to get the tentacles?
I can't really reach the tentacles, so I just kind of kick whatever's nearest.
Okay. I have daggers, so if I can get close enough, I can just cut the tentacles off.
Okay. Are you gonna get close to cut the tentacle off?
Am I allowed to make 2 attacks?
You can make 1 attack.
Okay. I'm first gonna put Sabbath down and just, pat her on the head and then take out my bow and arrow.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna try to aim for the orb bit.
Okay.
17.
Cool. That hits.
8.
You hit it square in the bulb, and it just kind of bursts.
Gross, but
Ew.
nice.
And there's 2 of its stingers on the ground.
Good. Bagging those.
Nice.
You could make cool arrows out of those.
Exactly. I was thinking whips,
They're probably not big enough to make whips, but you could make arrow tips.
Nice.
Am I going back on your shoulders?
Yes.
Okay. Piggyback continues.
At the very end of this path, you see a very large black flower, and next to it, you see a small bit of bramble that you could probably either climb over or cut through.
Big guy, this is for you.
Okay, initialize getting the axe out.
You up to right next to the flower, and you're gonna attack the bramble.
He's gonna look it over first and just see if he's seen this type of thing before.
Yeah, it's dead vines.
Okay. He'll take up his great axe and try to clear it out if possible.
Okay, roll a hit.
Of course, when it doesn't matter, that's a nat 20.
So you bring your axe down, and it just like cuts through with such force that it kind of like pulls the rest of the branches down, and they all kind of crack. So you seem to be in a small, like, you see another kind of entry or like a break in the hedge up further, but to your left you see a chest.
Someone's gonna grab that.
Sarah, I believe there's something of interest over there that may be of your talented, as Vestus will point to the chest that he sees.
Yes. I'll go get that then.
Okay, so you're gonna go over to the chest.
Yes, sir.
Do you want to check for anything, or you just want to open it?
Yeah, I might as well just open it.
All right, you open it. There's no traps, thankfully. And you see a weird glove. That's the only thing in this chest.
I'm gonna take it. My glove now.
My glove now. Yeah. I want you to give me an investigation for this this glove, or if you want, you can roll Arcana.
I'll roll investigation. Might as well. Huh? Not 20.
Okay. So you look it over, and as you kind of look it over, you see a small piece of paper falls out, and it explains the small piece of paper. It looks almost like a business card, right? And it tells you what this glove does. It has 5 charges. It recharges all 5 of those charges after a long rest. By expending a charge, you can translate a page or 5 feet of a wall of writing into any language you want. It is called the Hand of Translation.
Okay, sounds good.
So after reading that, what would you like to do?
Can I give it to Sabbath?
Give the Sabbath?
Yes, please. I don't need this. Here, take this, Sabbath. It might help you.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
You just kind of like hand her the piece of paper, and
Read this very carefully.
You hand Sabbath the piece of paper.
Sabbath just kind of takes it and gently tucks it in their bag.
Okay, you can go further into this part of the maze if you'd like.
You might find some cool new treasures.
So if you go north, that's where the current closest opening is north.
Let's go north.
Okay. In this section, to your left, you see another one of those floating bulbs is floating around, and to your right, you see a fairly large, it looks like a vine, but it also looks like it's kind of glowing.
Don't like that.
And it looks kind of almost angry. And then right next to that, it looks like it's guarding another entrance path. As we get to this point here, I want you to all roll me a perception check.
14.
20.
5.
I really hate you guys.
Who got
That's a 4.
Who got a 20?
I did.
Okay. As you are kind of going through, you see, as you are walking around, you see a number of bodies, but as you kind of get close, like every kind of block of this hedge that you find, you see a body, but it's almost kind of like it's pulled in to the hedge before you all get in there. So they keep being like pulled into the hedge.
Great.
Oh, God.
So there is, if you go north, like I said, there is another break in the path, but you do have one of those floating bulbs, and you have a large luminous vine.
I think we should go towards the vine.
Okay. How close are you going to get towards the vine?
I'm gonna say within like maybe 15, 20 feet, just so I can observe it at first.
Okay. As you get close to it, it kind of opens its, like, what looks like a mouth. Almost like it's a kind of really big vine with a Venus flytrap at the end of it. And it just kind of snaps at you. It can't reach you, but it tries to snap at you.
Ah, okay, so not good.
Is it in the way of the door?
You could probably try to run past it, and it might try to snip at you.
I don't know if I should try to throw something at it or
I mean, if it's in the way of the door, I think our best bet is to fight it and then go by.
Hey, big guy.
Yes.
You ever taken out a Venus flytrap before?
I've eaten one before, so yes.
Of course you have.
You're up. Sabbath just kind of gestures to it.
Well, if memory serves me correctly, I need to use bait. As he looks back at Sabbath.
No. What kind of bait?
Well, usually something that's moving. So he'll kind of grab a gesture to the ground and kind of look around for a rock, and says, and he'll grab, if he can find one, he'll grab a little piece of meat from his ration pack and attach it onto the rock and kind of tie a string, and he'll overthrow it quite a bit and kind of gesture, not gesture, but pull the rope and try to get the Venus flytrap to notice it.
Okay.
MacGyvering, I dig it.
You see it's kind of following the meat there.
And now he'll point to our, I believe it is Helios and Sabbath that have bows, correct?
Yes, I do.
Sabbath is just there for the ride.
It may be a virtuous idea to strike it as it's not paying attention.
Gotcha.
And he'll kind of tug it just a little bit more to get its attention. I would like to use this as a help action, if possible. If we attack it from afar, it is more safer than getting close up.
Alrighty, I'll use my bow and arrow then. Put Sabbath down yet again. Little pat on the head, and goes to get his bow and arrow.
Go for it.
Alrighty. Ooh. Oh, I can't math. Hold on. 26. I think.
Nice.
Yes.
So you pull back your arrow as the Venus flytrap isn't looking, and you let the arrow go, and it actually hits the big luminous part there, and it just starts to bleed out. So this goo is like the consistency of like Jello, and it seems to be luminescent.
Can we take a sample?
You can take a sample if you want.
Nice.
Keep the ectoplasm.
Yes.
There is a floating stinger behind you as well.
Yoink.
Does anybody else want to attack the stinger?
I will with my deck of cards.
Go for it. Roll to hit.
19.
That hits.
7.
7.
Yeah.
So as Helios is taking out this plant here, the bulb that's coming kind of behind is slowly coming, and you just see Saris take a card and, without even looking, throws the card, and it cuts it in half like it's a piece of lettuce. Nice clean cut. So both of these are dead. Do you want to take the stingers from this bulb as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. So in total, you'll have 4 stingers right now. And there is a break in the hedges in front of you.
Is this finally the end? Are we done?
You'll find out when you go in.
Sabbath is once again back on the shoulders. You're just becoming our Sherpa.
Are you going into that break in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
You go in. It is a dead end,
Uh,
but there is a chest.
ah.
I'm gonna loot that shit so hard. Yeah, I'm just gonna open the chest.
Gonna open the chest. Okay. Again, no traps. You open the chest and you find a bunch of robes. Like cloaks. Sorry, not robes. Cloaks.
I heard rogues and I was like, what?
My people.
But you find a number of cloaks in there. They seem to have different insignias kind of sewn into them. And roll me an investigation.
6.
Did you say 3?
I said 6.
Oh, 6?
Sorry.
You don't really know where they're from. They just seem to be like different emblems, so you think they might be from different houses. Does anybody else want to roll an investigation on them?
Sure.
Sure. Yikes. Also a 6.
Oof.
I got 20.
Okay, nice.
Hi.
So you look at them and you see a couple emblems that you've recognized to be from like different elven houses, as well as like a couple of different military ranks from different like Terran battalions. This looks like a collection of cloaks taken from different types of people.
Do we have enough for everyone?
Yeah, you've got enough for everyone and to have some extra.
Nice. Everyone grab a robe.
Funky.
All right. So with this, you've cleared out a section of the maze. You're gonna have to go all like backtrack all the way, kind of almost to the beginning there, and kind of go north again. But we'll say that you backtracked there, and that's where we'll start next time that we play. Okay.
See you next week.